Hello everyone! Welcome to my discussion on how I will strategize my lesson for describing proportion, illustrating similar figures, and proving the Pythagorean theorem. Since my topic is very long, I will have a short discussion of what are my strategies. So my name is Bibsy Kansan. I'm excited to share with you my own idea on how to effectively teach these important mathematical concepts. To kick things off, let's dive into an engaging picture guessing activity that will set the stage for my lesson. I'm going to show a series of images, 1, 2, and 3, and I want the students to identify the pictures and guess the word and ask them any idea what comes to their mind after answering the word. This will serve as a motivation to ignite their minds and curiosity. Now, after they warm up their brains, we will dive into the heart of our lesson. I have three competencies. First off is describing proportion. Next is illustrating similar figures, and lastly is proving the Pythagorean theorem. So in the first topic, I will define what is proportion first, and then show how it can be stated as 2, using either the column form or the two equal fractions. Then remind the students of the means and extremes, since means and extremes are discussed in grade 5, as well as how to cross multiply the ratios to solve for equality. Then ratios can be reduced to the same value, which is known as the equivalent ratio. Following that, I will explain, and solve the problems or the examples beginning with the simplest form and progressing to obtaining the value of x using the proportion. Then we move on to the next topic, which is the second topics demonstrate the similarity of figures. I will first show students a picture of two butterflies and ask them what they see or what they have observed of the picture. Then, after that, I will describe the description of similar figures and the symbol used to represent them. Then I will show them the image number 2 of what they observe, and then I will remind them of the corresponding sides and angles. We can solve and determine whether two polygons are comparable by using the corresponding sides and angles. Afterwards, I have an image number 3 and also ask them how to express the proportionality of the side using the ratios. Then explain and solve it using the scale factor and proceed to other examples. And in the end, I will wrap up this topic with a small review of what is similar and scale factor. Finally, we will dive into the Pythagorean theorem. So here's my strategy of how I will use to discuss and prove this theorem. So I will begin by stating the Pythagorean theorem. So what is this? So in a right triangle, the square of the length of the hypotenuse or the longest side is equal to the sum of the squares of the length of other two sides. Then I will explain the significance of the theorem and its widespread application in geometry, engineering, and more. Then we will start off by reviewing of the properties of right triangles. So what are these properties? First off is a right triangle has 190-degree angle, of course. Then the side opposite of 90-degree angle is called the hypotenuse. And I will introduce the variables a, b, and c to represent the lengths of the three sides of a right triangle, where c is our hypotenuse. And I will write out the Pythagorean equation, which is a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. I will use a diagram of a right triangle to demonstrate, of course, the proof. Divide the triangle into 4 smaller right triangles, which is all congruent to the original. Arrange the 4 small triangles to form a larger square, and they can see that there is a larger square and a smaller square. So I will explain that the area of the larger square is equal to the sum of the areas of the 4 smaller triangles. Then use this visual representation to show that the area of the larger square, c squared, is equal to the sum of the areas of 2 smaller squares, which is a squared plus b squared. After proving the theorem, I will give an example about it. Then, their final task is answer the assessment question. That would be all. Thank you.